The garage was locked. The cameras were active. And at 2:17 a.m., something triggered the motion sensors inside. But no one ever appeared on camera. At 2:17 a.m., security cameras detected movement inside a parking garage that had been completely empty for hours. The alert came from the building's automated security system. When the night guard opened the camera feed, the screen showed exactly what you would expect. Rows of silent parked cars, concrete pillars casting long shadows across the floor, dim overhead lighting reflecting off the empty concrete. Nothing moving, at least at first. But the system had detected motion in the north corner of the garage, and a few seconds later, it triggered again. What makes this incident unusual is simple. The garage had been closed for hours. No vehicles had entered since 11:43 p.m., and according to building access logs, no one had gone inside. Yet the motion detection system continued sending alerts throughout the night. And when investigators later reviewed the footage frame by frame, they noticed something that didn't make immediate sense. Something that appeared briefly, then disappeared. The parking garage belongs to a mid-sized office building in a U.S. metropolitan area. Like many commercial garages, it operates on a schedule. During business hours, employees and visitors use the facility. But after midnight, the building closes. At that point, two things happen. The entry gate locks automatically. The security system switches to night monitoring mode. In this mode, motion detection becomes more sensitive. Movement is detected inside the garage. Security receives an immediate alert. Usually these alerts are easy to explain. A late employee leaving the building, maintenance staff moving equipment, or occasionally something simple, like a stray animal wandering inside. But on the night of this incident, none of those explanations immediately applied, because according to the logs, the garage had been sealed since 11:43 p.m. The last car exited, the gate closed, and it never reopened. Yet at 2:17 a.m., the camera detected movement. The first alert came from camera 4, positioned near the center of the garage. At first, security assumed it was a system error. False alerts happen sometimes, especially in environments with changing lighting or reflections. But then a second alert appeared, 2:19 a.m., this time from camera 6, located near the far corner. Now security was paying closer attention. Because the cameras were detecting movement in two different areas of the garage, the guard rewound the footage to review the moment of the first alert. At first glance, nothing unusual. The garage looked quiet, silent, still. But then something subtle happens. Near one of the parked vehicles, something shifts in the shadows. Not dramatically, it's just enough movement to trigger the motion sensor. The guard replays the footage, again and again, trying to identify the cause. But the video doesn't clearly show a person, or an animal, or anything obvious, just a brief movement in the shadows. Then, 2 minutes later, another alert. The next clip is what caught investigators' attention. At 2:23 a.m., camera 6 activates again. This time, the motion appears closer to the camera. In the footage, you can see a row of parked cars, the concrete floor, and a pillar near the edge of the frame. For several seconds, nothing happens. Then suddenly something moves between two vehicles. It's quick, just a brief shift. It's like something passing through the frame. But when security slows the video down, the image becomes difficult to interpret. The shape isn't clearly defined, doesn't resemble a person, and it's gone almost immediately. Naturally, the next step was to check the other cameras. If someone had entered the garage, they would have appeared somewhere. But none of the entry cameras recorded anyone entering. The vehicle gate never opened. The pedestrian access door remained closed the entire night. This creates a contradiction. The cameras inside detected movement, but the cameras outside show no one entering. Investigators considered several possible explanations. The first was lighting changes. Parking garages often use fluorescent lights that can flicker or shift slightly over time. These changes can sometimes trigger motion sensors. But when technicians reviewed the lighting system logs, they didn't find any irregularities. Another possibility was animals. Small animals can occasionally slip into garages through ventilation openings. But after a full inspection of the garage the next morning, no animals were found. No tracks, no signs of nesting. No evidence of wildlife at all. A third explanation involves camera artifacts. Digital cameras sometimes produce strange distortions when compression systems process shadows or reflections, especially in low-light conditions. But this explanation also raised questions, because the alerts were triggered across multiple cameras, and at different positions in the garage, which would require several cameras to produce similar artifacts within minutes of each other. Possible, but unusual. Finally, investigators considered a simpler explanation. Someone might have already been inside the garage before it closed. The building records didn't support that either. Security checked employee keycard logs. No one entered the garage after closing. No one exited until morning. By morning, the motion alerts had stopped. The garage looked exactly the same as it had the night before. Rows of parked cars, concrete pillars, silent security cameras watching from the ceiling. Maintenance staff walked through every level of the structure. They found nothing. No damage, no open doors, no evidence that anyone had been inside. Yet the motion detection logs clearly show multiple triggers between 2:17 and 2:31 a.m., all from inside the garage. The footage remains archived as a minor but unexplained security incident. Most likely, there is a simple explanation. Perhaps shifting shadows, a technical glitch, or something small the cameras briefly misinterpreted as movement. But one detail still stands out. It's a final motion alert. Because when investigators reviewed the last clip of the night, the camera records one final shift near the corner of the garage, and then something unusual happens. For just a moment, the camera suddenly refocuses, as if something passed directly in front of it. But the frame shows nothing. And after that moment, the motion alert stopped completely. To this day, security has never confirmed what triggered the cameras that night. But after reviewing the footage, investigators believed there were only a few possible explanations.